Hi, welcome to our presentation. The main purpose of the presentation is to present our PBL1 assignment for STID 3024 System Analysis and Design for Group C. So our title of this PBL1 is School Review System. So let me to introduce our group mates. So first, I introduce myself. My name is Pratik Kumar Analaki Ravi. My metric number is 270315. I am the leader of this group for PBL1. Next. His name is Shafatullah Imam. His metric number is 268898. Her name is Asma binti Muhammad Nasir. Her metric number is 273368. Her name is Amara Miliana Vidanti. Her metric number is 268909. So let me start our presentation with use case diagram. This is the use case diagram. So basically parents, staff, school principal, admin or the system administrator are the actor. So the parents basically can use user registration, user authentication, provide feedback and generate report. For the staff can use user registration, user authentication, manage feedback response and generate report. For the school principal can use user registration, user authentication and generate report. For the admin or the system administrator can use user registration, user authentication and manage member. Okay, let me start our first by user registration. Authentication user. So this is the use case specification for the authentication user. So the system administrator, parent, school staff, principal can access the authentication user. So let me to brief about this. So the parent, school staff, system administrator and principal will enter their identity card number and password to log into the system. There is no precondition. The characteristic of activation is event driven. So let me see the basic flow first. So basically, parents, school staff, system administrator, and principal should insert their identity card number and default password and have to click the login button after entering the details. So they can log in the system. After login, they can change their default password. And the system will notify the user if they enter the irrelevant identity card number or password. So the parent, school staff, system administrator, and principal can also select the forget password if they forget their password. And after they are finished their work, they can log out anytime. So let me see the alternative flow. So for the A1 logout, the actor could click the logout to return to the main page. For A2 change password, parents, school staff, system administrator, and principal can change their password after login to the system. For A3 forget password, through this method of forget password, the system will ask the user to enter their email. After entering the email, the system will send the new password to the user through email. After receiving the new password, parents, school staff, system administrator, and principal have to enter their identity card number and the password given by the system. After entering those details, they can click login option to log in into the system. So for the authentication user, there is as an exceptional flow, that is an error message will appear if the actor insert the wrong identity card number or the password. The post condition is parents, school staff, system administrator, and principal can successfully log into the system by entering the correct identity card number and the password. There is one rule, that is the identity card number or password is inserted correctly. For the constraint is the actor must have authentication to log into the system. That's only for the authentication user. So the actor can log in by insert their identity card number and default password. If it correct means it will log in, and if not means it will goes to the forget password option. If you want to proceed it, so he will proceed and go back to the insert identity card number and default password. If no means he will go to the first step. So after he successfully login, it will shows as home page. In the home page, there is option like change password. If the actor want to change password, it will successfully change. If no means he can return to the home page. So after that, after they finish their work, they can successfully log out. So that's only for the activity diagram. So my other group mates will continue about other things. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Amara Milenia Widanti, number metric 268909. I will presentation about user registration in our project school review. First one is this is user registration of use case. We have 4 actors, which are parents, staff, admin, and school participant. And this is the activity diagram of user registration. First, at the first, the activity actor would to go to web application and then click sign up button on the beginning of program and then insert complete personal data information. If actor doesn't insert complete personal data information, then actor will must to insert again until the personal data information feel complete. And then after that, after the data information feel complete, and then actor go to will bring to the create a password. After create a password, actor must to click sign up button to proceed the registration, and then user registration system will proceed the user registration. After that, the system will send email verification to the actor, and then actor will get email verification, and then a user must to click link verification on the email body, and after that the system will bring the user to the home page of the program, and user can log in normally to the system. In this user registration, it have alternative flow. First, A1, email verification. Actors will get a verification email message in the email that has been registered in the system. Second, actors click on the link or button available in the message box of the verification email. A2, update profile. The users can change their personal data via the edit profile button. Then user will be directed to the personal data information form, and then users can click button update or save to save the change. And then we have exceptional flow, which is E1, error input data. A red error message will appear on the input box that has the error if the users entered the wrong data format. Second, recommendation and example will appear in the error input box to make it easier for actors to revise data. Also, the post condition from the user registration is Parent, school staff, system administration, and principal can successfully log into the system by entering the correct information data. The rules of user registration is all required information data is must to insert correctly. The constraint of user registration is the actor must have authorization to log into the system. That's all for user registration. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shafatullah Imam, metric number 268898. Now I will explain about two user requirements. The first is manage provide feedback. This is the use case of this user requirement. It shows the relationship between the actor and the system. And after that, this is the activity diagram and basic flow. Because it's the same, I will explain it. First, the actor click the feedback button. The actor is the staff and school principal. By clicking feedback button, the system will display the list of the feedback. And after that, the staff can choose whether they want to see the feedback by date or categories, and then the system will display feedback by categories or display feedback by date. The system will provide three buttons to reply to the feedback: reply, delete, and modify. The staff could reply the existing feedback by clicking reply button, and then the system will display the reply or response from the staff to the parents in the system. And then the staff could delete the irrelevant feedback by clicking delete button, and then the system will remove the feedback from the system. And then the staff could modify the existing feedback by clicking modify button, and then the school review system of the system will save the edited feedback. After that, this is the alternative flow of this user requirement. The first is reply feedback, the second is delete feedback, modify feedback, sort by date and sort by categories. The first is reply feedback. This action is initiated when system found a feedback sent by the parents. The system will display reply button to reply the feedback. And then alternative 2, delete feedback. This action is initiated when system found a feedback sent by parents. Staff can click the trash bin icon beside the feedback to delete the feedback. And then alternative 3, modify feedback. This section is initiated when system found a feedback sent by the parents. Staff can modify the inappropriate feedback by clicking modify button that will be displayed by the system. And alternative 4, sort by date. Staff can sort the list of the feedback by clicking sort button. The system will display a checkbox with two options, date or categories, and the system will display list of feedback by date by choosing date in the checkbox. And this is still alternative 4, but is sort by categories. Staff can sort the list of feedback by clicking sort button. The system will display a checkbox with two options, date and categories. The system will display list of feedback by categories by choosing date in the checkbox. And then the next user requirement is provide feedback. This is the relationship between actor and the system, between parents and the system, which is provide feedback. And this is the activity diagram, and I will explain it. The first, the parents will, by clicking new feedback button, parent can start to provide feedback to the school. And then choose category. Parent needs to choose the category of the feedback, either suggestion, compliment, or complaint. And then write feedback. Parent need to put subject and write down the feedback. And then parent can choose whether they need response from school or not. If yes, click send. If yes, after clicking the send button, the system will save the response. And if parent choose yes, the parent can see the school response in my feedback. Before that, parents need to click my feedback button first. If no, the parents can see the display status, not the school response. So parents can choose whether they need response from school or not. Parents need to click send button to send the feedback. Parents will see the status of the feedback after feedback has been sent. And parent will see the action taken by the school after he or she sent the feedback. Next is alternative flow. Number one is view feedback status, and then view school response. Alternative 1, view feedback status. Parent can see their feedback status on my feedback to see whether their feedback is still pending or action has been taken. The system will display the feedback made by the parents. The system will display which feedback is still pending and which feedback was taken action. And then the system will display when the feedback was submitted. And then the system will display what was written by the parents. And then view school response. Parent can see action taken by the school. The system will display what action or response made by the school. And then the action will display who is responsible for the action taken. And then the system will display when action taken or the response given. And then the system will display which feedback already solved by the school. Okay, that's all for me.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Asmawindu Nasir, metric number 273368. So I'm going to present the generic report. Okay. Here we have the use case diagram for the generic reports. The system can be accessed by staff and parents, and this use case is initiated by the staff. This use case will enable the staff to check the number of feedback received. And characteristics of activation is event driven. And this use case will begin when the staff click the generate reports link, and the system will display the interface of generate reports. So the staff can check the number of feedback received, the number of feedback resolved, and the number of feedback that is still pending. And parents also can view brief info on the number of feedback received, the number of feedback that has been resolved, and the number of feedback that's still pending. And last, the admin can update school information from time to time. So here we have activity diagram. So the staff can resolve the feedback received and still in pending status, and parents can see their feedback status, such as suggestion, compliments, or complaints. They also can view on the feedback that has been resolved and the feedback that is still in pending status. And lastly, the system will, administration can update the feedback, and that is how the system will end. So that's it. Thank you.